Hello everyone, my name is James. What I intend to do today is take you through a Tai Chi form practice. It will start simply with the breathing, and then we'll move into the first basic Tai Chi posture of Wu Chi. So as we do Tai Chi, I would just simply start with, well, you can even do the little step out. This is, again, it's just a little opportunity. So you practice the class, you can just step out, put yourself with your feet just about over your feet about as wide as your shoulder blade width. You take your hand, place it so the thumb is inside the navel, and you can place the other hand on top. And then you're more than welcome to close your eyes when you do the breathing, but the idea is to breathe in and breathe out. You're putting your hand of what is called your Dan Tian. It loosely translates to elixir field, your center. So we breathe in and we breathe out constantly through this. So if you're going to take anything away from this lesson I'm presenting, calm, slow, deep breathing whenever you practice Tai Chi. This is an internal martial art, Tai Chi. It means the supreme ultimate, the grand terminus boxing is what Tai Chi means. And this is just simply getting into the warm-up. This will be about a 20-minute lesson I wanted to present to you. If you're stuck at home or if you can go outside a little bit, this little lesson can be done pretty much anywhere with no equipment whatsoever. All you need is yourself to be very present. And again, if you're more than welcome to close the eyes as we get these first few breaths in to really feel that. Inhale and exhale. Just that inhale and exhale. The knees are bent and the shoulders are relaxed. If I turn to the side to show you, so as I start to sink down with the knees bent, I'm not falling forward with the shoulders, so I'm letting the hips go just a little, not tucking the tailbone under so much, but just bent knees, shoulders relaxed whenever you do Tai Chi. There's 5 basic concepts in Tai Chi, and the first one is to simply remain relaxed. And if you remember to place the hands here for a few moments, this is just a good little way to get acquainted with the breath. Being that this is an internal martial art, you're always in touch with the breath. We're not trying to intentionally raise our heartbeat in this. There are definitely the more yang schools, if you want to call it that, yin yang. This is a much more slow, easy kind of practice that is meant for health, wellness. Tai Chi is also a fighting style, but we're looking at this from the point of view of health and wellness. And I'm presenting this to you, just something you can do anytime, anywhere. And I will add, if you start to feel shakiness in the legs as you take this Wu Chi, that's good. You're actually beginning to retrain. The insertions of these are your vastius. They go into the tendons of your knees, so they become very shaky in that sense. You're actually giving your hamstrings, which are back here, a rest, and you're now working this a little bit more. We'll vary this, but if you feel you need to shake out your legs a little bit, perfectly normal. The idea is to get a little wider as we go in Wu Chi. And in a moment, we'll bring the hands up, but I just refer to this. And even you can welcome to bring your hands like this for a few moments. So again, back straight, knees bent. The third basic concept in Tai Chi is keeping your back straight. I skipped over the second one. We'll go over that in a moment. And that inhale, exhale. 5 basic concepts, 3 basic postures. Sorry about the noise behind us, but life is still going on. And it's always that inhale, exhale. Again, you're more than welcome to close the eyes. I might close my eyes more because I feel that inner awareness of my condition is just better quickly attained when I can close the eyes for a few moments. So I welcome it for most people. Now, as we move a little bit more with the arms, these are mostly still here. It's almost like for a moment, you can even leave it like this once in a while, like your elbows are in your back pockets, because this will open up this front side trunk, and most people are collapsed like that. It does so many bad things for the spine, and it restricts your breath when you start to feel rounded like that. So just positioning the body like this, turning to the side to show you, back straight, knees bent, shoulders lax. And again, I might have a little lean too as I go forward slightly, but I'm just keeping it consciously in my mind's eye, that I'm keeping this working and opening. If you feel that separating the legs gets too much and shaking here, just bring your feet closer. Perfectly good to have your feet just shoulder blade width. Over a period of time, you'll get more accustomed to sinking down with the knees bent, and you're giving a lot of good work to all of this and giving back here some rest. Most people unconsciously, they tend to push the weight back too much, and it really is unfortunate. It creates a lot of leg syndromes that we're not aware of, hip issues that we're not really aware of. Now moving on, and then this is just a quick, brief lesson that you can apply anytime. So as you turn the hands a little bit, this is just a rotation of the wrists. Almost like you feel for a moment you're holding sand or a little cup of water in your palm of your hand. And just turn it over gently, spread it, let it stretch, and then bring it back. And these even let you call little fascia stretches for the hands. So it's just a few moments, those little rotations. And inhale and exhale. Just a little turn, back to normal. Turn, back to normal. And then slower, ideally, just giving that little rotation enough to all through the elbows, the wrists, and even into the shoulders a bit. And you can bring it back to that. Again, if you just feel again, you need to shake out the legs. To be able to stay in Wuji is ideal in that sense. The first basic posture is really leg training. That's what I simply refer to it as, leg training, Wuji. Now bringing the arms up in front of you, it's like you're holding a big ball or hugging a tree. Almost wrapping around as you hug for these few moments. Breathe. Again, closing the eyes is fine. In the warm-ups, I advocate eyes closed, simply because you can get into a potentially a meditative state. You can increase what's called introception. That's just an awareness of your internal body states, introception. Now, inhale and exhale is what guides it. So I always refer back to my breath. The first basic concept in Tai Chi is relaxed. Third basic, back straight. So with the hands, they're just what they call, you might say, fair lady's wrists is the connotation. Just relaxed through the wrists, but still somewhat active in the hands, where they're not just somewhat inattentively worked with. You're somewhat there with the hands, but it's gentle, and with the it potentially gives a little opening through the wrists, the elbows, and even up in the shoulder joints. So all this kind of lines get a chance just to rest while you're somewhat active. Just for a moment, I'll be quiet and still, just to allow us to find that breath again, without the hands being on the dantian. Now, turn your feet out a little bit. This will involve a little more shifting and moving, which is excellent for these areas in the shoulders and the hips. Where a lot of frequent issues happen for people are in the shoulder and hip areas. So as we do this next part, it's going to involve, well, imagine, what's the best way to do this? Okay. Hands in front, arms crossed in this position. Still knees bent in Wuji, but you can have your feet turned out, that's what I was going to say, 45 degrees of it. So for the beginning part, the knees are over the toes like this, but here it's a little turning out of your feet, 45 degrees. And when you sit in Wuji, you're going to notice, oh, that's putting a different emphasis on, instead of just working through the top here, now it works a little bit more towards the sides. So you can even shift the sensation of what it does to your legs. So again, leg training, meditation, and sitting like this. Now in a moment, we're going to add some movement, but I want you to get accustomed with your feet turned out just a little bit, 45 degrees, shoulders relaxed, back straight, breathing. In the next few moments, we're just going to cover the second basic concept of Tai Chi, also the fourth as well. We've done the first, the third, the fifth. First basic concept, completely relaxed. Third basic concept is back straight. The fifth concept is fair lady's wrists. So now for a little movement, I want you to imagine coming up with the arms, and your legs are straight for a second. So the arms are out now, palms facing out. Now, bring the hands down and sit down straight with imagining like you're scooping up a lot of water, almost. You're scooping up this big water amount, and now you're coming up again, and the water essentially drops on your head. Now come back down again, and bring it back up. So do like 10 of these. This is so good for the hip sockets. This is so good for keeping the knees and the ankles robust. Sitting down, back straight. Now again, there might be a little lean to. I have a very tight lower back to a degree. So as I sit down, you can see my hips pitch back, but I'm not falling forward like that. So that's the idea, is to keep this more in your mind's eye and this in your mind's eye as you sit and come back up. Sit come back up. Again, like you're just dropping the water on your head. So the hands come out, bend the knees back straight as possible. And don't worry if you are doing that. That was me for a long time. I finally kind of able to work this stuff out. No matter what, just be persistent as you come back up. So I'm not falling forward. It's back straight, knees bent, and come back up. I'll face you. So again, turning back just one or more times. So come to the arms crossed. And again, you just straighten the arms up over your head. Legs are straight too. And then you bend the knees. Sit down, come back up. And come back up. Now, what we can add to that is still, you can have your feet turned out 45 degrees, is shifting the weight. So another basic concept in Tai Chi is shifting the weight, and in a few moments we'll turn the waist. So now we'll do the same basic move, but you're gonna see me shift the weight. So, arms crossed, come up. So I'm coming up with the arms, but now instead of coming to the center, I'm coming back down to the side and I'm shifting. So you'll notice. Because now, as I come to the side, on the right for you, I'm shifting and then coming back in, coming back up. Again, just fantastic for your rotator cuffs, especially deep into the hips, the pelvis. Coming back up, back down. You have little mechanoreceptors, little sensory nerve receptors that respond to pressure. So by putting pressure in this right way, you potentially use exchanges. The nerves are firing in ways that they don't normally fire. It's just excellent in so many ways. Shift. Now, there's actually a particular move name for this. So as you take your left hand, my right hand, or the other way around, my right hand, your left, the other way around. It's just I'm mirroring yours perhaps. But as I come down, I'm making this hand with the four fingers, with the thumb together, and it's palm of the hand coming down and then shifting. This one is called Snake Creeps Down. It's a move in the Tai Chi steps, Tai Chi form practice. We're just getting ready to do form practice in a sense. But you could make this your exercise for today without doing a lot of steps. That's why I want to bring this to you as just some practice without a lot of steps. You're learning the practice and breathing. So your back is straight, and now you're shifting the weight. The fourth concept involves shifting the weight and turning the waist. Now in a few moments we'll be doing that. We'll complete it, but just for a few moments, this is Snake Creeps Down. Or squatting single whip. That's the other name. These have a lot of names. Like yoga poses, Tai Chi moves, definitely have a lot of names. It's great to identify these things as you go, but not necessarily to remember all the names. Now, to do a little circling, this will involve shifting the weight, turning the waist. So you can go back to the first Wuji. And this just starts to turn more. In fact, just drop the left hand down, but just watch your right hand turn to the side. So now I've completely turned my waist. If you'll notice, I've actually turned back to that way. And I drop the right hand down and just do like the palm facing the ground. Bring it back up. So now again, I've turned away and now shifted and then turned. So now you're beginning to do this, turning the waist, shifting the weight. You just leave the left hand down for a few moments. We'll bring it up in a moment. Just want you to follow the hand. Because again, this is still, again, fair lady's wrists. Turning the waist like this is just fantastic for your internal organs. The fascia is everything is double bagged in your organs. So when you're moving like this, it's not just the organs themselves. Your organs just aren't hanging there. They're wrapped and suspended in a double bag of fascia that must slide and glide. That's what truly keeps you robust as you age. And it's all this inner fascia that starts to creep in a way that gets tight. Now you can shift the other hand up. So now notice, I'm following my left hand, shifting. Now the right hand comes up. So for a few moments, I'm directed like that. And then the left hand drops, the right hand comes back. I've shifted, turned the waist, shifted, turned the waist, shifted, turned the waist, shifted, turn the waist. And do this is just circling. So as I come back to the center for a few moments, like you're hugging the tree again. The knees, now again, I did bring the feet back straight, I should say that. And this, just for here, the knees are bent, but the feet are straight a little bit more instead of 45 degrees. So that's just one of those differences. Take a breath. So we've done the circling, we've done squatting single whip, which was snake creeps down, and we've also recovered the breathing. So what I think we'll do is leave it here for today. I want to keep this to be a very short lesson. There is a second and a third posture in the Tai Chi form practice, and what I will do is go over that in a separate video for you to practice this for a little bit and then try to enjoy those as they come. Just because, again, I truly believe that if you can just begin to sink and stand into Wu Chi, you'll have done as much as the average person who tries to take hundreds of steps too fast. So if you can learn how to train the legs, I hope to hear from you in a way that gives me the right kind of positive feedback. I might say that this works for you. Please let me know if it doesn't, in other words. Thank you again. Once again, my name is James. Have a great day.